Yo, what's good everyone? Happy Monday to you all. Today I'm going to be breaking down some of my favorite Nhl Dfs plays for this Monday, October 30th slate. We got ourselves 9 games here tonight where I'm going to go through a couple of my favorite line stacks, some of my favorite individual plays, and then we'll wrap up the video talking 3 low-priced options or sub 4K forward plays. With that being said, let's dive right into this. And we're going to kick things off here by highlighting the games that we have here tonight. You'll be able to see the odds and over-under as well. First game that we have here is the Ducks taking on the Penguins. We got the Panthers taking on the Bruins. Kraken taking on the Lightning, and then the Hurricanes heading into Philadelphia. Next set of games here that we have is the Rangers taking on the Jets. Red Wings taking on the Islanders. Blue Jackets in Dallas taking on the Stars. Canadians taking on the Golden Knights. And then the final game that we have there is between the Blackhawks in Arizona taking on the Coyotes. Alright, now let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like here for tonight. Now, there's actually quite a few line stacks and power plays that I like targeting here on this 9-game slate tonight. I'll kind of name drop those throughout when I go through the individual plays too. But one of my favorite line stacks to target here tonight is that first line for the Dallas Stars. We got Roope Hintz centering Jason Robertson and Joe Pavelski. This has honestly been one of my favorite line stacks to target here over the last 2 years, as the chemistry and upside between these three is very real, and it's a very strongly correlated line stack as well, with all 3 of these guys playing up on the Stars' #1 power play. Now, they've been off to a decent start so far this year, having combined for 6 goals, 8 assists, 14 points in 6 games, averaging just over 2 points per game, but there's certainly a lot more upside here between these 3, especially in a matchup like this at home against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, like I said, there's a lot to like about line stacking and power play stacking in general here tonight, a number of different lines that I could have highlighted here next, but I just kept going back to that first line for the Philadelphia Flyers, with Sean Couturier centering Cam Atkinson and Owen Tippett. All 3 of these guys here being in the 4K range is still too cheap to ignore in my opinion, even in a tougher matchup like this versus a good defensive team in the Carolina Hurricanes. And I know the Hurricanes haven't been great defensively to start the season, but they're going to figure it out sooner than later. But again, these 3 all being in the 4K range, it allows you to pay up for a lot of other spots throughout the rest of your lineup, and these 3 have been good, having combined for 8 goals, 12 assists, 20 points in 8 games so far this year. They're playing big minutes together 5-on-5, and then all 3 of these guys are getting time on the special teams as well. You're going to see Atkinson and Couturier play up on the #1 power play, and then Tippett plays on the 2nd power play. Now folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. We're trying to get GriffDogg Sports here to 4,000 subs, and every like, comment, and sub on this channel truly does go a long way through the YouTube algorithm. Plus, we're trying to work on some new channels here at GriffDogg Sports as well. The faster we can build this all up, the more content we're going to be able to push out to you guys. So help us out here today if you can. Now let's dive into these individual plays. And we're going to kick off these individual plays here at the forward position. One guy I would be willing to spend up for here tonight is Jack Eichel of the Vegas Golden Knights, priced at $7,500, which I think is too cheap in my opinion. The way he's been playing so far this year, you could price him in the 8K range. He's got 3 goals, 6 assists, 9 points in 9 games, and honestly should have some positive regression coming his way, as he's 6th in the NHL in expected goals at 5.0, and he's 2nd in the NHL in shots on goal with 41. Really love to see him ripping the puck. Good matchup here tonight at home against the Montreal Canadiens, and Eichel just plays big minutes in general, playing on that first line and #1 power play. Now, another forward who's been off to a really good start so far this year is Artemi Panarin of the New York Rangers. He's priced at $6,500 here tonight in a matchup on the road against the Winnipeg Jets. He's racked up 4 goals, 8 assists, 12 points in 8 games so far this year, averaging 1.5 points per game, and he's been shooting the puck at a much higher rate than we're accustomed to seeing from him as well. He's got 31 shots on goal through those 8 games, averaging over 3 per game. Still playing on that second line, but plays up on that #1 power play. And I do like the matchup here against Winnipeg, who has not been great defensively so far this year, allowing 3.38 goals per game. That's the 8th most in the NHL, and their penalty kill has really struggled too, the 6th worst in the NHL, hitting at just a 72.5% rate. I then got Brian Rust here, the Pittsburgh Penguins, priced at $5,500 tonight in a good matchup at home against the Anaheim Ducks. And honestly, I like stacking up that first line for Pittsburgh in general. You'll have Crosby centering Gensel and Rust. These three play big minutes together 5-on-5, and all three play up on the Penguins' #1 power play. And they should have some positive regression coming their way, as all three of those guys currently rank in the top 20 and expected goals across the NHL. Now, I liked highlighting Rust here because of his price and opportunity, and he's made the most of that opportunity on that first line in #1 power play. So far, he's racked up 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points in 8 games this year. And then for just $100 cheaper, I like Nick Schmaltz here tonight of the Arizona Coyotes, obviously priced at $5,400 in a good matchup at home against the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, Schmaltz himself has been good this year, 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points in 7 games, but honestly, I like targeting that first line for the Coyotes in general tonight. You'll have Barrett Hayton centering Clayton Keller and Nick Schmaltz. Great correlation with those three all playing up on the Coyotes' #1 power play, and I believe they should be a contrarian line stack, considering it's a 9-game slate here tonight. And again, just a good matchup at home here against Chicago, who's probably performed better than they should be. They have just a 45% expected goals percentage this year. That's the 4th worst in the NHL, and a team Corsi of 44%. That's the 3rd lowest in the NHL. And then one 4K forward here that I thought was offering some really nice value tonight is Nick Paul of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's an even $4,000 on DraftKings tonight in a solid matchup at home against the Seattle Kraken, who've allowed 3.33 goals per game so far this year, the 9th most in the NHL. And Nick Paul himself has been very good considering his role and price. He's racked up 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points in 8 games, averaging close to 11 DraftKings points per game. That's almost 3x value considering the price. And honestly, I don't mind targeting that first or second line, and even more so the second line for the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. You'll have Nick Paul centering Steven Stamkos and Brandon Hagel. Now, moving over here to the defensemen, and honestly, I really like the 5 to 6K range here tonight for defensemen. I think there's a lot of guys who could be higher priced. I'm going to go through a few of those guys here in just a minute, and I was honestly going to highlight Erik Karlsson here as my top defenseman play tonight, but then I keep looking at Noah Dobson. He's priced at $6,600. Yes, the price is going up, but I do like the matchup here tonight against Detroit at home, and he's been so good in all aspects as a defenseman this year. He's got 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points in 7 games, while putting up 19 shots on net and 24 block shots as well. That has rounded out to him averaging 17 DraftKings points per game, hence the reason his price keeps going up. Plus, he's just logging big minutes in general for the Islanders right now, playing around 24 plus minutes per night, getting time on that #1 power play, and playing on the penalty kill. Now, dipping into that 5K range here, defenseman, I'm going to highlight Miro Heiskanen of the Dallas Stars at $5,500, but I would be willing to spend up for Victor Hedman of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Sean Durzi of the Arizona Coyotes, or Adam Fox of the New York Rangers. I think any one of those guys in the 5K range are offering some nice value, but I just like this matchup at home for the Dallas Stars in general against the Columbus Blue Jackets. We can stack up Heiskanen with that first line that I highlighted earlier, really targeting their #1 power play. Heiskanen's a guy who plays big minutes in all situations, 24 plus minutes per night, again on his team's #1 power play, plays on the penalty kill, and so far this year he's racked up 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points in 6 games. Now, considering I highlighted that first line for the Philadelphia Flyers once again, I felt it was only right to highlight Travis Sanheim too. Yes, his price has gone up here to $4,900, and it is a tough matchup at home against the Carolina Hurricanes, but this guy has truly been awesome for the Flyers this year, playing around 25 plus minutes per night in all situations, again, up on his team's #1 power play, playing on the penalty kill, and he's truly just been good in all aspects, racking up DraftKings points in a number of different ways. Also been finding the score sheet with 1 goal, 7 assists, 8 points through 8 games, while averaging 13.5 DraftKings points per game. Now, honestly, everybody, I was not really thrilled with the low-priced options that we have for defensemen tonight. Usually we can really find some nice value at this position, but I might be spending up in general here tonight for defensemen. But one guy that I thought would be viable is Caden Gooley of the Montreal Canadiens, priced at $3,300 in a tough matchup on the road against the Vegas Golden Knights, but he has been off to a great start so far this year. 3 assists, 11 shots on net, and 11 block shots through 4 games, which has led to him averaging 14.5 DraftKings points per game. You can see I laid out each game there, 9.9, 22.4, 2.6, and basically 23 DraftKings points points. Not bad at all for a guy priced in the low 3K range. Now, he does not get any time on his team's power play, but playing around 19-20 minutes per game and does log big minutes on the penalty kill. And then I got a couple of goaltenders here for you guys. The first being Ilya Sorokin of the New York Islanders, priced at $7,800 tonight in a matchup at home against the Detroit Red Wings. Sorokin so far is 3-1-1 to start the season with a save percentage of .915 and a goals allowed average of 2.80, averaging close to 17 DraftKings points per game. I do like that the Islanders are home favorites here at -155, but even more so like how they've been playing defensively this year. They've allowed just 2.71 goals per game, and that's the 8th fewest in the NHL. And then if you're looking for a boom-bust tournament goaltender here tonight, it could very well be John Gibson, but I'm hoping that it's Lukas Dostal here for the Anaheim Ducks, because he's not only priced at $6,900, but he's been very good so far with a 3-1-0 record, save percentage of .915, and a goals allowed average of 2.75. Not bad at all for a goaltender priced in the 6K range. Plus, this Penguins team loves to fire the puck, averaging 35 shots on net per game this year, the second most in the NHL. Now again, John Gibson could very well start here tonight for the Anaheim Ducks, and I don't mind that at $7,100, but I think my next favorite play would then be Carter Hart of the Philadelphia Flyers if Dostal doesn't start. And as always, going to wrap up this video here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. The first guy that I got on my list here then is William Karlsson of the Vegas Golden Knights, currently playing on his team's 3rd line in number 2 power play, but logging around 16 minutes per game, and he's been very productive to start the year, having racked up 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points in 9 games, while averaging close to 10.5 DraftKings points per game. I then got Wyatt Johnston here, the Dallas Stars, priced at $3,500, and as long as he remains here in this 3K range, he's probably going to be on my radar as a low-priced option. You're going to have to take the good with the bad. There are definitely some nights where he doesn't perform, but then there's also nights where he goes off. Someone who can get you 30-plus DraftKings points or 10x value at this price, something he's already done so far this year, and he hasn't been bad overall. 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points in 6 games, averaging 10.5 DraftKings points per game. And then I got Leo Carlsson there of the Anaheim Ducks, priced at $3,100, and the rookie has looked great so far to start the season. 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points in 4 games, averaging 10.3 DraftKings points per game, averaging close to 20 minutes per night as well, while playing up on his team's first line and number 1 power play. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 9-game slate. In the meantime, I'm out of here.